Sonic is one of the most recognizable and iconic video game characters out there, right next to that Italian plumber guy. I think his name was like Super Micro Bro or something like that. Sonic's had so many games and movies and merch and fan art that it's hard to not know who Sonic is. And if you do know Sonic, then you know his catalog isn't exactly just hits and bangers. For every Sonic 3, there's a Sonic 06. For every Sonic Generations, there's a Sonic Unleashed. For every Sonic Mania, there's a Sonic Forces.
Today, we aren't here to argue about which Sonic games are good or not. I mean, if you like Sonic Unleashed, that's cool. That was my favorite game when I was like 6. I thought it was really cool when he transformed into the werewolf, okay? Instead, I want to talk about Sonic's origin, why he was created, and take a dive into the first Sonic the Hedgehog game.
But before we can dive into Sonic, we gotta establish some context first. I'm sure all of you know this, but in the 80s, Nintendo completely dominated the video game space. Seriously, no one even had a fraction of the popularity that Nintendo and their mascot Mario had. But that didn't mean companies didn't try to compete, and one of those companies was Sega. They had the SG-1000, which didn't sell very well. Then they came out with the Sega Master System, which sold alright, but it didn't come close to Nintendo. It did, however, become the second best-selling console that generation, which is kind of impressive, I guess, but when you think about it, their only other competition was the Atari 7800, so that's like if you were in a race against a dead horse and Usain Bolt. Like, cool, you beat the dead horse. But you still got smoked by Usain Bolt. Probably didn't help that the Master System had a box that looked like this. Man, I wonder why the Ninja didn't sell as well as The Legend of Zelda.
Then in 1989, Sega released the Genesis in North America, and while it found some level of success in the start, it wasn't anywhere close to Nintendo. Even though the Genesis had a pretty decent library of games in the start of its life, it's obvious it was missing something. The secret piece that would propel them into being a big player in the video game space. If Sega wanted to rival Nintendo, they would need an iconic mascot that could go head-to-head with Nintendo's Mario.
And so in 1990, Sega held an internal contest to find the next flagship game that would hopefully make the Genesis a success. And one duo that was working on proposals was programmer Yuji Naka and artist Naoto Oshima. The proposal they had come up with was a speedy character that could curl up into a ball and go through winding tubes, based on a tech demo that Yuji Naka had made that allowed for a sprite to move smoothly along a curve. The deal was pitched to Sega and it was approved, and so level designer Hirokazu Yasuhara joined their team in order to develop it into a full-fledged game.
And so with the concept for the game finalized, the team moved into designing a main character that would be a mascot for Sega. Some of the ideas for protagonists were a Theodore Roosevelt-esque character in pajamas, a rabbit that could grab onto things with its ears, and a spiky teal hedgehog. And so, on a trip to New York, Naoto Oshima took some of these designs to Central Park, and asked random people what they thought of the designs, and the spiky teal hedgehog proved to be the most popular character out of all the other options.
Sonic's character was designed to be simple enough to be recognizable, yet exude some of that good old-fashioned 90s attitude, since they wanted Sonic to be popular in America. And so Sonic was made to be cobalt blue to match Sega's logo, was given a pair of shoes by both Michael Jackson and Santa Claus, and was given Bill Clinton's can-do personality. Don't ask me why, I do not know.
Even after Sonic was chosen to be the mascot in Sega's new game, there were still a couple ideas meant to flesh out the character that were left on the cutting room floor, such as him being in a rock band, having vampire fangs, and having a human girlfriend. All these ideas were scrapped by Sega's American division, Sega of America, and it was obvious that Sega of America was somewhat worried about how well Sonic would do in North America, which is why Sonic looks different on the North American box art compared to the European and Japanese versions.
Then, in June of 1991, Sonic's team's hard work was finally released as Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega started to heavily push the game, even bundling it with new Sega Genesis consoles. And it seems like their hopes and dreams had come true, because Sonic is now one of the most easily recognizable video game characters, and the game itself had propelled Sega into being an actual threat to Nintendo. But how well does the game hold up today? To answer that, I hand it over to VoiceOver Gavin.
The original Sonic the Hedgehog is split up into 7 zones, 6 of them consisting of 3 acts, and the final 7th zone being a short final boss fight. Each act is relatively short, with the final 3rd act ending in a boss fight with Sonic's nemesis Eggman. Yeah, remember that scrap character from earlier? This is him now. Feel old yet? The goal of each level is to try to get through as fast as possible while collecting these golden rings, which basically grant you an extra hit as long as you're holding at least one, but if you do get hit, your rings will fly everywhere, leaving you vulnerable. But you want to try to collect as many as you can, because not only does holding 100 grant you an extra life, but finishing the level with 50 will cause a big magic floating ring to appear at the end of the level. And if you hop in, you'll be greeted with the realization that you now have to play a stupidly frustrating part of the game, the bonus stage. The bonus stages work very differently than the regular stages, as you control Sonic curled up into a ball trapped in a constantly rotating level, and all you can do is jump. But what is the goal of the bonus stage? Well, you might think it would be to get to one of these goal areas, but that is the exact opposite of what you actually need to do, and will just cause you to miss out on the real goal getting the Chaos Emerald.
Collecting all the Chaos Emeralds actually awards you with a pretty cool prize. When you beat all the bonus stages and collect all of them, you actually get to play as Super Sonic. But oh wait, we're not playing Sonic 2, we're playing Sonic 1, which means all it does is unlock the true ending, which is virtually the same as the bad ending, except now you get flowers that grow at the end. So glad I went through all the trouble of collecting virtual fake stones in a video game. I'm a very protective person and I'm on top of my priorities.
FBI, open up!
Alright. Funny story, I forgot to pay my taxes because I was too busy playing this stupid game and getting all the Chaos Emeralds. So I guess I'm gonna go to jail now. Voiceover Gavin, you got this?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Cool, alright. I'll see you guys in like 5 years or so.
Alright, have fun in jail. Okay, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Sonic. Sonic's defining feature and claim to fame is its speed-focused gameplay. The thing is that it's actually Sonic's biggest trick, because most of the game is platforming, which isn't bad, but the best part of the game are the times when you get to just blast through a level. And the platforming sections can slow the game down when all you want to do is go fast. And that kind of takes me to my biggest complaint, is that the game doesn't really encourage you to go fast. Let me explain what I mean. While Sonic moves pretty fast, you don't really have a reliable way to build up speed in a fast way, because the spin dash wasn't introduced until Sonic 2. So if you want to go fast, you'd have to find a straight path that you can run on and build up speed, or hit a spring, or go through a speed tunnel, or find some other thing in the level that can give you momentum, which means that there are sometimes parts in the level where there isn't really anything around to give you speed. But the problem is that when you are going fast, you usually just speed into an enemy or some spikes or something that was impossible to dodge because you were moving too fast. Sonic levels should be like a roller coaster. When you build up the speed, you can't just abruptly stop it. You gotta let it die out more naturally. You can't just put spikes right after a loop-de-loop. That doesn't make for a fun level. Man, I really miss Green Screen Gavin. It would be a time like this where I would hand it off to him and he would talk about whatever. But now he's in jail for tax evasion. Oh my god, Green Screen Gavin, you're back!
Yes, I'm back. Crazy story. So basically I put in the cell with this guy I knew back in high school. Turns out he's like a drug lord now. I knew him back in geometry class with this like inside joke about like Reese's Puffs and like spaghetti. It was hilarious stuff. But anyway, basically like we're put in a cell. He started like this huge prison riot. It was freaking crazy. Everything was on fire. I had like machine guns like and there's like a guy who said like merch for sucks. So I just like punched him in the face and like it was crazy and I escaped and it was freaking nuts. I need to sleep. Okay. Guess just start getting back to talking about Sonic, I guess. Well, Sonic may have the most well thought out level design. A lot of the levels are graphically pretty interesting. Sonic was designed to show off the technical aspects of the Genesis with fast-paced gameplay and pretty colorful levels. Even Labyrinth Zone looks pretty cool, even makes me want to tear my hair out. While the original Sonic the Hedgehog may be a flawed game, there's still a lot of great ideas here that could be really fleshed out and make a really great sequel. We'll get to Sonic 2 one day. But I don't really have time today, since apparently breaking out of prison is illegal, and so now the police are after me. They plastered these all over town. Wait, hold on. I don't use that much? I could use the money. I have a plan. Alright, so funny story, didn't work out. I'm in jail now, but hey, at least I have $10. Things could be worse. I'd be playing Labyrinth Zone right now. Man, I should've just paid my taxes.